What is going on, guys? Politics Gaming here, and today we are doing a brand new update for the 2021 edition. It is July 22nd, 2021, and today we are going to be previewing the 2021 edition with exclusive news from Eversim. This is the first time that they have actually given me exclusive news, and this is just an amazing feat that this channel has surpassed. So I do appreciate Eversim working with me for all these years, and I do appreciate that they have been able to work with me in order to get news to you guys. I know you guys love this game. I know you guys look forward to every edition. So go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're going to be getting new exclusive news next week, so don't miss out on that news. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at some of the features that we have in the 2021 edition. The first feature that we're going to be talking about today is going to be various diplomatic initiatives, including, as you see here, scientific contracts. Essentially, in the email, it is described that various diplomatic initiatives, countries can collaborate and improve relations by implementing a student exchange program, a year of culture dedicated to a host nation, transnational highway projects are now going to be possible, scientific cooperation, as we see here, aimed at making discoveries and sharing them by pooling scientific knowledge and financial means. So essentially what we see here is the contract for this scientific cooperation. This is going to be at least one of the diplomatic initiatives we're going to be able to embark on. So we see that Italy and France are signing a military scientific cooperation contract, and this looks like that we are going to be able to research specific types of objectives. So as we can see here, this is the 4th generation Odyssey Ultimate Destroyer. It's actually one of the 4th iteration of the military weapons that we can research and build in the game. So we can see it says we have a domain, we have the objective, and then we also have scientific cooperation between two countries brings together methods and researchers with the objective of making world-recognized discoveries. The research program has its own dedicated budget. Each country contributes the same amount. Acceptance of a cooperation depends mainly on the level attained in the field of research, the budget, the relations between the countries, and especially with discoveries categorized as strategic. So I'm pretty sure that strategic means, you know, we're going to be looking at weapons, we're going to be looking at different types. Hopefully they actually say that energy projects are considered strategic, because I would love to be signing scientific cooperation contracts with European countries with higher HDI scored countries in order to research fusion reactors a lot quicker than we would be able to. And it looks like that we do have the total budget for both countries. So it looks like that we can set a set amount. So, you know, we could do 300 million euros for the Ultimate Destroyer, or, you know, we could do like 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion dollars or euros, depending on where you're from, and we can this essentially will help us discover things faster, and it also is going to be able to help us attain better relations with other countries. The other thing that I'm really excited for in this piece is especially transnational highway construction. That's going to be very useful. And implementing a student exchange program. I'm very excited for that feature. All right, and moving on, we do have the creation of debt buybacks. We can see it right here on the picture that a loan can be entirely or partially bought back if the country has a treasury reserve. This reserve is obtained and accumulates during the observable quarterly budget surplus. For countries in the Eurozone, this reserve can also be supplied by a special loan granted by the Eurogroup. The Treasury reserve is paid back at a base interest rate, so interest of a loan buyback is to not have to pay interest, possibly higher, until the end of the loan period. So it looks like that we do have the country that we bought the loan from, we have the next loan that we're going to have to pay, the current rate that it's at, and then the current loan total. You know, for Germany, it looks like 66 billion euros. And then including interest, they've been paying about $3 billion. And then it shows the interest rate on the current day, and then the rate at the beginning of the year, and then looks like that we have, you know, so many years to pay back a certain loan. So that is going to be very interesting in order to, so instead of, you know, buying from your treasury reserve, you can actually basically just, like, you know, take a loan out from your own country, and go on from there. So this is going to be very interesting because debt has always been something that you have to deal with. And this is going to be very useful for the next economic tutorial. That's going to be very interesting to play with and try to discover. And I will definitely be making some tutorials about this. This is going to be very interesting. And in the email, it looks like it says loan buybacks for the player, and thanks to our treasury reserve, not to have to resolve any remaining interest. So essentially, buyback loans are supposed to just make you avoid, allow you to avoid paying a lot or even any interest on any loans that you have to take out. So if you do need to take out a loan from your own national bank or from the Eurogroup, for example, then you're not going to be having to pay that much interest. I mean, you can see that, I mean, Germany's took out a $66 billion loan. They've only paid $3 billion. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty, I mean, 8%, 8% for a country? Pretty, I think that's pretty low. But I know there's a couple of countries that probably have lower interest rates. But go ahead and let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong on that. All right, and here is the next picture that we can see, and in the email, it looks like simulation of the fatalities. So this is going to be the causes of death that we can directly affect in order to stop these things from happening. Maybe there's a couple of new laws that are going to be established, maybe in the health tab, in order for us to fight these types of causes of death. So it looks like, you know, for example, we have heart disease, and I told you guys this. I kind of predicted this correctly. I mean, it was kind of like a pretty self-explanatory by the causes of death. You know, simulation of mortalities, and you being able to directly affect them. You know, we're going to be dealing with heart disease, we're going to be dealing with suicide, we're going to be dealing with breast cancer, car accidents. We can see gun deaths is going to be very interesting. Looks like drugs is going to be one. COVID-19 is going to be a sense of mortality. Smoking, it looks like acid reflux, brain tumors. No, that's like oh, that's actually seizures on the bottom left. Not bottom left, it's like two from the bottom left where the smoking is. It looks like that we have also, have asthma, we have gastrointestinal disease, etc., etc. And we also, looks like it's showing a baby in almost the top right, and maybe that's like a child mortality. So that's going to be very interesting. And in the email, it says real fatality data for every country of the world has been integrated into the game. Nearly 30 causes of death are simulated, which is cancers, strokes, malnutrition, diabetes, heart disease, traffic accidents, and the player can act to reduce these occurrences. So that's going to be very interesting, and it's really cool because it has like a simulation of the human body. So, you know, if we're dealing with a certain type of a body disease, then, you know, it's showing you the anatomy of the body, so you know exactly where that is. I mean, I don't know, it's kind of like the small things are very interesting. You know, it could have just been a list of these types of diseases, all the icons that you can see right here, but no, they actually integrated a full human body into the game. So that's going to be very interesting. We also look on the bottom left, we have the mortality rate, which is 9.4, the population of the country of the United Kingdom, which is 65.8 million, and then the infant mortality rate per 100,000. So yeah, I believe that the top right where the baby is, that is going to be infant mortality rate. And then life expectancy, and hopefully there's going to be, and I believe if we actually directly affect these, life expectancy is going to be going up. So this is another feature that I am quite excited for in the future. And then finally, for the moment you guys have been waiting for, we have political party coalitions. This is going to be the biggest feature of the game, and this is going to make playing parliamentary countries like the United Kingdom, Australia, Germany, way more interesting to play. And we do see that we have a very good set indicators right here. So we look at this election that we are running through. This is playing as Germany. By the way, look at that deficit. That is scary to look at. But we do have three different options that we have. We have the dissolving of the coalition, we have the request coalition approval, and we have promise of a ministerial post. And then we also have the promise of a common program, which is during election seasons. And then at the bottom, we have the political coalition between the United Ecological Party, the WPS, which I'm not familiar with, and the Pacifist Union. Maybe this is going to be a way for us to get smaller parties like communists, like ecologists, etc., to actually start winning elections. And this is going to be a very interesting feature to play with. And I cannot wait. I know a lot of you guys are extremely excited for political party coalitions. And then we have the ministry promises. So we promise the vice chancellorship, the foreign affairs, treasury, homeland security, defense. And we do see that, like, there are a lot of different ministries that are being promised to different types of parties. But now that you have to deal with integrating different kinds of parties into your government, will this start causing a lot of infighting? And will this make government administration even harder? It's going to be very interesting to see how this is implemented in the 2021 edition. And on the bottom right, well, if you actually look where the globe, the economic and military relations are, the demographic screen, if you see all that down there, you can actually see that there is a new button for political tendencies. And we do see that it shows us on the left-right spectrum. And if we see the United Ecologist Group, which is a center-left ecologist political party, they are center-left. And then if we do form a coalition, or just by the coalition, if we don't even have to form a coalition, then it shows what our government would be, whether it would be far left, far right, center left, center right. And maybe this is actually going to be updated during our election. Well, that this thing, if we're proposing, a lot of right-leaning policies, then it'll start moving the indicator left or right. And then we also see that at the bottom we actually have another button. So I want to see if those buttons are different. I highly doubt that they're different, but that is going to be very interesting. Unless that's going to be an indicator that shows us what political tendencies other countries have, and then it can show us kind of like whether they're to the left, right, if we click on them, or it's going to show it as like a map in its entirety. And then on the email, the creation of political party coalitions. A player can run an electoral campaign or lead a country by allying with other political parties. To do this, you will have to create a common program and commit to allocating governmental posts. Such coalitions are critically important in parliamentary regimes. For example, Germany, the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand. Any place with a parliamentary regime is going to require a coalition if you do not get the specific number of seats that those countries need. Now, what I really want to know is that how is Eversim going to be implementing this? Is it going to be, in the United Kingdom where you need 325, whatever the Bundestag needs in Germany, whatever the majority is in Australia? How is this going to be implemented into the game? That is going to be the question that we want to be answered, and maybe we won't even see it answered until the game comes out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can watch whenever I preview 2021 as soon as it's released. But anyway, guys, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to see more content like this, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any exclusive 2021 news next week, which he has already promised, or not really promised, but he has stated that he will be communicating more screenshots, more information for next week. Hopefully we get a release date the next week. I do not have a release date as of this video, so I do apologize if you guys have been expecting a release date. Maybe we will get one next week, so make sure you stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.